I initially wanted to be a songwriter. And I used to just be making the bed or something at home, and I'd just start singing a song, and I thought, oh, that sounds okay, that's a good tune or whatever. I thought, wow, I'm a songwriter. And I used to look through the music papers for an address or whatever of a publisher, and I used to send these tapes off. They probably just ended up in the bin. At the beginning, I hadn't even got any music on them. I was just singing the damn things. It must have sounded terrible. I thought, I'm going to have to get myself a guitar to make it at least sound a little bit better. So I got this guitar off the market, for a couple of quid. And I couldn't play, really. I just knew this couple of chords out of a book, and I wrote about 4 songs to these 2 chords. And then I met a lad that used to be at the same school, and he used to be coming past the bus stop every morning with his clogs, Cloggy Woods they used to call him. And I said, Owen, that was his real name, Owen. I said, how's about me coming round to your place? I know you can play the guitar, just show me how to do it. So I went round there, and he was really impressive. He was doing all this fingerstyle and singing Bob Dylan songs, and I was really knocked out, like my chin was banging on the floor. Anyway, he showed me a few tricks on the guitar, and I got into it. Then I used to get up on my own in places and sing my own songs, but I used to get not much interest. People talk when you sing a song. So I used to gain attention by fooling around, and after I got their attention by gurning or whatever, I used to do this Quasimodo routine where I play the blues guitar, and Quasi sings, and I start jumping up and down and kind of going, I'm gangling around the belfry in my sanctuary shoes, 'cause I'm stuck in the cathedral with the bell ringers blues. That used to get their attention. But you find after a while you can't keep doing that. You've got to choose one or the other. And I could do impressions pretty good. And I used to look in the mirror quite a lot, and I realised that there's something extraordinary stuck on the front of my head.
Well, your face is certainly very flexible and well known on television now, but correct me if I'm wrong, your first big break on television was on a show when you were never seen, Spitting Image, of course.
Yeah, I've done the rounds, I've done the Thames TV. I was on Granada quite a lot. That was my first TV appearance. In 1980, I was on a show called Rock with Laughter. But it was all this little cameo spots and popping up on magazine-type shows and that, which was never good enough to do the trick. But I always knew that what would do it would be a producer that really went overboard on me and would give me my own show, which is what happened eventually. I was spotted round at Central TV doing a warm-up, watching Spitting Image on a screen, and they wanted some guy to make them laugh and get them into the mood before the video came on. And they chose me because of my face-pulling abilities. And I was to make them laugh without saying much and elongate the laughter so they could tape it and then use it to stick on the Spitting Image show. But the big bonus was the fact that this guy was sitting in the audience, Steve Weddle from BBC, and he was the one. He said, a couple of days later on the phone, does Phil want to do Pebble Mill at 1? Phil said yes, and I went on there and did a 10-minute sort of a stand-up routine and a chatty bit with Bob Langley. And from that I got a pilot, and then after that I got a series.
So in those early days, who were you doing impressions of?
I used to do all the oldies, like James Stewart, and I used to do 2 James Stewarts. I used to do the older James Stewart, and then I used to do the young James Stewart. And then of course John Wayne was in, but I always used to put John Wayne in a wacky situation, rather than just all the other impressionists were just going like, get off your horse and get out of town or whatever, but I was always put it in some bizarre situation. Who else? The oldies, Max Bygraves, Frankie Vaughan. I used to do this wacky routine with Max Bygraves and Frankie Vaughan singing I Am the Walrus by the Beatles. All the musos that used to listen to me in the pub used to fall about with that one. I used to kind of go like, I am he as you are me, as we're they, as we're all together. this other fella, Frankie Vaughan, will come in and kick his leg and go, yellow matter custard, dripping from a dead dog's eye.
Thank you so much for listening to this interview. If you enjoyed it, please click on the like button and ring that notification bell. And there are many, many more to listen to on this channel, so make sure you subscribe if you possibly can. Thank you.